So imagine for a second living in a place where the internet isn't something you just have, but something you dream about. That's the reality for a lot of folks in Canada's remote northern communities. But what if someone came up with a way to fix that? Well, today, we're going to dig into a really fascinating business model that's doing more than just connecting homes, it's empowering entire communities. Let's get right into it.
All right, so you've basically got two very different ways of thinking about this problem. On one side, you have the big telecom giants. Think massive infrastructure costs, and if something breaks, they got to fly a technician in, which is, crazy expensive. But on the other side, you've got this nimble little startup, DMT. Their solution? A solar-powered network that's actually maintained by the local people it serves. This is way more than just a tech upgrade. It's a totally different philosophy for how you connect people.
But to really get why DMT's approach is so brilliant, you first have to understand the sheer scale of the problem they're tackling. So let's take a closer look at what the Northern Digital Divide actually means.
For the big companies, it really just comes down to a numbers game. And when you're talking about the huge, wide-open spaces of the North, with very few people, the math just doesn't work out for them. It's not profitable. So what happens? Entire communities get left on the wrong side of the digital divide, totally cut off from so many of the opportunities that you and I probably take for granted every single day.
So how in the world does a tiny startup go up against these industry giants? Well, the simple answer is they don't play by the same rules. DMT's model is all about being surgical, like a precision strike. Instead of building these massive, clunky networks, they use a super targeted approach. It's incredibly cost-effective and way more efficient. Let's see how they pull it off.
Okay, so the heart of this whole thing is a really smart mashup of technologies. First, they get a powerful internet source, maybe from Starlink or a fiber line. Then, and this is the cool part, they create a local web of internet using these super tough solar-powered pods. It's like a digital bucket brigade, Each pod just passes the signal to the next one, making sure that literally everyone in the community gets a solid connection, no matter how far out they are.
DMT's real secret sauce, their competitive advantage, is this awesome mix of three things. First, the tech itself is built like a tank. It can handle temperatures down to -45°C. Second, their Pink Ops training program, which trains people right in the community to be the local tech experts. And third, their logistics. They use classic bush planes to get around. It's just perfectly adapted to how life actually works up north.
And this right here is where that Pink Ops idea just becomes genius. $3,000, that's about what it costs for just one of those fly-in maintenance trips the big guys have to do. By training local technicians, DMT completely eliminates that cost. Plus, they're creating local jobs and building skills right there in the community. It's a total win-win, and it completely flips the economics of rural internet on its head.
Okay, so we've seen how this model can work for one community. That's great. But how do you grow it? What's the long-term plan? Well, let's take a peek at their 5-year plan to see how they're going to go from a few villages to something much, much bigger.
Honestly, their growth strategy is a thing of beauty. It's so smart. Phase 1, they use government grants to connect a handful of anchor communities. This proves the model works and builds a ton of trust. Phase 2, they use that success as a launchpad to get these really profitable contracts with local industries like mining and forestry. And for the grand finale, Phase 3, they position themselves to be bought out by one of the very same big telecom companies they were competing with. It's just a brilliant long-term game.
But what really makes DMT different isn't just their clever business plan. It's their values. It's their philosophy. Let's dig into what really drives this company, because it's about way more than just being an internet provider.
This is such a powerful idea. Sobriety as capital. In many indigenous communities, which are often dry, this is a core cultural value. By making it a pillar of their own company culture, DMT shows this incredible level of respect. It immediately builds trust, and it's also a huge plus for industrial partners in mining, where safety is absolutely everything. It's a perfect case of how your values can become your biggest business asset.
This quote really says it all, doesn't it? They see themselves as a managed partner, not a landlord. They're not just renting out a service, they're building a network that the community itself owns and maintains. This creates a deep sense of pride and ownership, which is just crucial for making sure this whole thing is successful for years to come. The whole model is built on partnership, not just pipes and wires. And for DMT, just getting people online is only the first step. The partnership doesn't stop once the internet is switched on. They are all in on helping these communities unlock the incredible potential of being connected. We're talking about helping a local artist get an online shop, or making sure a tourism business shows up on Google Maps, whatever it takes to help them grow. They're not just an ISP, They're truly a partner in progress.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? A business model that's built on partnership and empowering communities. But the big question is, can it actually be profitable? Let's dive into the financial blueprint and see how the numbers really make this whole thing work.
$150,000. Get this. That's the small business loan that gets this whole game-changing operation off the ground. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. That initial investment is the little spark that starts a huge fire in rural connectivity. It just goes to show you don't need billions of dollars to make a massive impact.
So let's quickly break down the math for the first year, just for a 3-village project. You've got your initial cost for equipment, that's CapEx, and then your day-to-day operating costs, or OpEx. But here's the absolute key, that government grant. See how that grant takeout money not only covers the initial loan, but actually ensures the project is financially stable right from day one?
So what does this all boil down to for the health of the business? Well, it comes down to this key number called the DSCR. The easiest way to think about it is like a financial safety net. DMT is targeting a DSCR of 1.5x. That means for every single dollar they owe on their loan, they're actually bringing in $1.50. As you can imagine, that's a signal that lenders absolutely love to see. It tells them this is a low-risk, high-reward bet.
So at the end of the day, what's the big takeaway here? DMT's success isn't just a story about some cool new tech. It's a story about a whole new way of doing business, one that's built on real partnership, on empowerment, and on a deep, genuine respect for community. And it makes you wonder, as we think about connecting the entire world, maybe the question isn't just how we do it, but how we do it in a way that truly lifts everyone up. Thanks so much for joining me.